Every space adventurer needs 3 things: a retro-futuristic blaster, a memory for fancy sci-fi names, and a face to pull when looking at an exploding space station. Of these, the second is arguably the most useful for players of Destiny 2, because on your travels beyond the stars, you're going to encounter a lot of aliens, planets and places with hard to remember names, and you need to know what's what and who's who for when it's important to your unfolding narrative, or when you don't want to look like a dummy in front of the other Guardians at the farm. Here then, in this video brought to you by Outside Xtra and sponsor Destiny 2, are 7 names every Guardian should have in their Rolodex. What, Rolodexes are coming back? You'll see.
Why venture beyond the solar system when the most enigmatic and powerful presence in the known universe can come to you? That's just one little convenience offered by the Traveller, a great pale space orb that arrived centuries before the events of Destiny 1, gifting humanity with the power to terraform planets, triple lifespans, and eventually be repeatedly brought back to life by sassy flying robots.
I'm a ghost. Actually, now I'm your ghost, and you? Well, you've been dead a long time.
However, the Traveller arrived on humanity's doorstep with some baggage of its own. I mean, not literally, unless there's a suitcase compartment somewhere in there or something. For starters, the Traveller was being hunted by an evil force called the Darkness, whose attack triggered an event called the Collapse that would have killed humanity had this cosmic ping-pong ball not sacrificed itself to save us. Hey, like it says on my cross-stitch, friends don't let friends be devoured by unknowable ancient space evils. In Destiny 2, the Traveller's presence on Earth continues to be a mixed blessing, as the new game opens with an enormous alien army invading the last bastion of humanity and capturing the Traveller, cutting you off from the source of your powers like a grumpy neighbour confiscating your football.
Guardian, something's wrong.
Oh, can we have our ball back, please? We need it to do fire swords.
I alone am worthy of the Traveller's light.
Nominative determinism is what it's called when people gravitate towards careers that suit their names. So with nominative determinism at work and a name like Dominus Ghaul, the big baddie of Destiny 2 was only ever going to be the emperor of a power-obsessed alien warrior cult.
Welcome to a world without light.
Either that or a bad guy in a Fast and Furious movie. Or like an underwear model, I want to say? To be fair to Ghaul, Dominus is actually his rank, not his name. It identifies him as the Emperor of the Cabal Empire, a warmongering alien race that values strength and military expansion above proper skincare. Though Ghaul is obsessed with conquest and dominion over the weak as much as the next Cabal trooper, it's also worth knowing that he has a massive chip on his shoulder, specifically about the Traveller choosing humanity as the recipient of its brilliant power-giving light magic. Which is fair enough. I mean, who among us can honestly say they don't nurse a small resentment towards their more accomplished peers? That Year 3 drawing prize should have been mine, Colin Taylor. Everything was in the lines. Goddamn popularity contest. Believing the Traveller to have made a mistake, Ghaul's solution isn't to brood, but to rock up to Earth with a giant wheel clamp that cuts Guardians like you off from the Traveller's light, and therefore your amassed powers. At this point, expect to get kicked off a spaceship. You might assume there's no way you could forget the name of this gravelly-voiced behemoth after that, especially seeing as you'll be spending the majority of Destiny 2 working up to some kind of retribution for the way he's destroyed the last city on Earth. But do write it down because the moniker has proven unusually tricky to remember.
His name is
Gary or Gil. Glenn? Is it? I don't know. It's something with a G.
Come on, Cayde, it's Gort.
Ghaul.
Ghaul.
everyone with me, now!
Hang on!
So far, your Destiny 2 business card holder contains a bicycle-locked power sphere and a tyrannical space turtle, so you should probably make some friends. Make tracks then for Commander Zavala, who should be on every Savvy Guardian speed dial, on account of him being part of the Vanguard, which means he's a way stronger and more capable version of you, the kind of aspirational Guardian who delivers stirring speeches, like this.
So I ask you, who will stand with me?
And doesn't get clobbered by bits of mining machinery, like you. Oof, man, I hope Zavala didn't see that. The bad news is Zavala probably did see that, because it's his job to know these things, but the good news is you can still get into his good books. See, at the start of Destiny 2, the Vanguard's comfy metropolitan existence is shattered by the arrival of Dominus Ghaul. Zavala survives the devastating attack, probably because he spent most of it cowering behind this barrier. But hey, we've all had our off days. See the aforementioned mining unpleasantness. Zavala is a Titan, and following the strike, he travels to one of Saturn's moons that is also called Titan, which suggests possibly he filled in a box wrong on his ship's GPS. Regardless, he settles in for an industrial-grade sulk that only you, a brave Guardian, can snap him out of. What would cheer you up, Zavala? Want to come see me jump in some mining equipment? It's kind of my thing.
Ikora, if you tell me this is a practical joke, well, it kills me to say it, but I would be really impressed.
Impressing you, Cayde, is the easiest thing I'll do all day.
Turns out the way to cheer up Commander Zavala is the same way to cheer up any man of a certain age whose career has stalled. Get his old band back together. In this case, the band is made up of Zavala's fellow Vanguard members, Ikora and Cayde-6. Players of Destiny 1 will certainly have encountered these guys before, but they also look to have much more to do in the sequel. The wisecracking Cayde-6 is the perfect foil for Zavala's serious military mind.
Zavala, this is my serious face.
While Ikora brings to the table the power to leap clear onto a moving spaceship like a champion.
You will find no mercy in me!
Like Zavala, Ikora and Cayde leg it off of Earth when things in the last city go sideways, but they opt to go their separate ways, probably feeling rightfully ashamed of having let the Traveller's powers get sealed away on their collective watch, costing them and you a lot of your sweet Guardian powers. I mean, it also cost a lot of people their homes and their livelihoods, but I'm sure if you ask those people, they'd agree that me doing fire swords is the priority here. Travelling to all three members of the Vanguard and reuniting the sitcom Space Squad will be, it seems, the overarching story of Destiny 2, so aspiring Guardians should be sure to track them down, at which point they'll probably have you do about 1 million quests before they even think about hanging out again. I mean, come on, this is still an MMO, right, Zavala?
This planet is crawling with Vex. The Red Legion is sent in crews. We need to know why.
Okay, Zavala, if it'll help get your mojo back.
If the light can find its way back to you, then perhaps there is hope for us all.
See, that's the spirit. Now let's go out there and kick some... Wait, who are we killing again? Oh yeah.
King, what's your status?
Dominus Ghaul may be a ruthless military strategist, but he's nothing without his... army? I was going to say shoulder pads. The Red Legion is an elite group of Cabal led personally by Ghaul, but very much to be avoided in their own right, thanks to forces including but not limited to jetpack-powered legionary troops, angry war dogs, blade-equipped gladiators, and Bran the Unbent Blade. Oh, hi, Bran. If you need me, I'll just be behind this bit of cover for the rest of my life. If you're wondering why the Red Legion fights so furiously, bear in mind that according to Destiny lore, under Cabal Empire rules, when an army goes to war, it's officially exiled from home until victory is secured. In perhaps the least pleasant work incentive since Jane's productivity scorpions. Oh Jesus, one on my leg! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Remember the name of this honed fighting legion, not least because if you bump into one of its members, you'll probably have to fight it to the death. Luckily, even the Red Legion haven't yet figured out how to build a flamethrower without a massive vulnerable fuel tank. Ha! But on the other hand, what these chunky zealots have figured out, having kicked humanity square in the fundament in the opening battle, is how to spread across the solar system faster than a common cold on a commuter train. Which means pack your sun cream because you're going on an interplanetary vacation. You won't need sun cream. You'll need medical supplies.
Oh, look, it's a Vex milk waterfall. Can we stop and... Aww.
Space adventure is about exploring the worlds beyond your home planet, so in a way, it's good that the Earth is now a smouldering junk heap. Broadens the horizons. The planetoid Nessus should be stop number 1 on your Lightspeed sightseeing tour. Yes, there are other space rocks to explore, like the aforementioned Titan, but while Titan may be bursting with adventure, it does have a methane ocean, and we're guessing a sea of liquid farts isn't high on your bucket list of places to visit. Nessus, meanwhile, is its own paradise, with lush scarlet flora and spectacular stony vistas. I mean, sure, it's been transformed into a machine world by the cybernetic Vex, but that probably means good Wi-Fi. The Red Legion also has a presence on Nessus, but sadly that does not mean that they're on holiday too and that you could settle your differences over a poolside pina colada. Instead, it indicates that, as seen in Strike Mission The Inverted Spire, Ghaul's troops are in the process of unearthing a deadly Vex Minotaur. That, unless killed by you, will kill everything, starting with you. So that's a hard no on the pina coladas, guys.
European Dead Zone isn't just the title of the savage Yelp review I gave my last package holiday. It's so much more. Intrepid Guardians will want to note the location of the Dead Zone, or EDZ if you're short on time. This forest area is packed full of ruins that predate the golden age of prosperity triggered by the Traveller's arrival, which means there's probably a Starbucks buried in there somewhere. More important for Guardians fleeing their ruined city, however, is the massive Traveller shard that's embedded in the Dead Zone's landscape, which will restore your light abilities, starting you on the long road to making Ghaul and his cronies buy the farm. And speaking of farm, remember how in Destiny 1 your first port of call for shopping, upgrades and communal activities was the tower? You know, with its stirring banners and striking architecture? Well, now that everything's on fire and the tower is a hole in the ground, your downtime is going to be a bit more rustic. Enter the farm, the improvised Guardian hangout within the EDZ, where you'll be chilling by the fire pit, decrypting engrams in the company of other Guardians, or even just killing time playing a little football. The perfect way to stop thinking about the smouldering remains of your old home. On your head? Huh. More like Dominus Ghaul?
He burned down your home.
Oh yeah. Ah!
So those are some of the names that you should get yourself acquainted with before you start playing Destiny 2 and start exploring lots of amazing planets. Look at the special OCG, oh it's amazing. If you want to watch more videos from us, you should click on one of these on the side, and also you should click this magical subscribe orb that will imbue you with Traveller powers and stuff. Totally will, completely will. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye!
Ow! Again?
Sorry Luke.